Welcome to the second episode of our Pacific Northwest trip, where we'll cover the ferries we took with our trailer and stays at Victoria and Vancouver, British Columbia.
So come along while we travel with the Fergusons.
On July 6th, it was time to go again. The landscape in Washington was beautiful as we drove from Olympic National Park to Port Angeles and got ready to board the Black Ball Ferry to Victoria, British Columbia. We got a front row seat to boarding the ferry.
Wow, we're all gonna fit on that little boat.
It was so interesting to see how the ferry backed up to the port and then driving onto the ferry, which was called the MV Coho.
I'm not gonna drop it.
Whoa, there's a boat next to us.
So it's a boat in a boat.
The ferry was a good size and had internet on board. The water was a little choppy after a while, but it had a cafe where the boys and I got some lunch, and I took some video and pictures of the sights. As we got closer to Victoria, the announcement went to return to your vehicles. It was neat to see that we exited off the ferry on one side of the boat. After we got back onto land, we waited in a short line for Canadian customs.
We're in Canada, folks.
In case you're wondering, anyone over 16 has to have passports, but with kids under 16, you just need to bring certified copies of their birth certificates to show. Also, it's extremely confusing about what food you can and can't bring into Canada. I ended up putting everything from the pantry and fridge into the truck to declare, but in the end, the only thing we had to give up were these small apples that I forgot to have the boys eat on the ferry. You can't take apple seeds over the border. You can cross the border with cheese and dairy products. Phew! Thank goodness, since we had all that cheese from our visit to the Tillamook Creamery. Before we went to the campground in Victoria, we drove through the capital and saw some totem poles that they had downtown. We stopped off at the Victoria Butterfly Gardens. This place was neat and had a section that you could see butterflies and various birds up close. They also had tortoises and other animals like koi and flamingos. After the Butterfly Gardens, we took a wrong turn, but it was fine. Victoria was so beautiful and so cute. There was this rural neighborhood that we drove through where everyone had these little stands by the road and sold through the honor system various farm goods like eggs and vegetables. I think I found the place I want to retire to. We also had to get used to everything being in kilometers and the gas being sold in liters. We stayed at Oceanside RV Resort in the town of Saanichten. It had a lovely view of the bay, had full hookups, nice showers that required a card, and laundry. It was close to town but felt a world away. A guy named Kemper stopped by and spoke to us for a while. He had owned 2 trail manners in his lifetime, but was in a different trailer at this campground. The next day on July 7th, we went to Schwartz Bay to board the BC ferry to Vancouver. The report called Tsawwassen. We got our tickets, and I thought the Victoria ferry was big. This one was really huge. I couldn't believe how many semi-trucks and other RVs, trucks, and trailers fit on this ferry. Again, we had to wait in line for the ferry to arrive. This time, they wanted us to verify that our propane tanks were off, which they were.
Behind Slumber Queen.
We were on the coastal celebration.
But we were actually, this is deck 5, but yay! Let's go!
Matt and I also ran around the boat, checking out all the various floors and things you could do.
Open. Yep, push. There you go. There you go. Whoa, look at this. Oh, it's beautiful. Huh? It's okay, you're right. You're right. Wow. Got a whole indoor area too. Oh, this is nice.
I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Okay, well we can come up here if we want to eat anything, and we can just come upstairs and hang out here. But look, there's like a whole area. You can just, you're covered in, and you can get some sun still. Oh, and there's a back area too.
The ferry was super comfortable, and we got ice cream at the cafe.
Nick is twerking in front of me.
BC ferries.
Yes, this is BC Ferries, yes.
Wait, but it just said it's cruise.
Oh, Coastal Celebration is the name of the ship.
Oh. Bonk.
What?
Got a brain freeze.
Brain free.
Nick thought that the bathrooms were the best he had seen on any moving vehicle. After we docked, we got another almost front row seat to how it all works. I'll speed up the video since this part took a while. Tsawwassen has a lot of marshland. And our campground was only a few minutes away from the ferry docks. We stayed at Tsawwassen RV Resort, which honestly was not what I would consider a resort. They did have a small pool and really large pull-throughs with full hookups, but compared to the place in Saanichten, this was just okay. July 8th was our big Vancouver day, and in hindsight, I should have stayed 3 nights instead of 2. There was way too much to do for one day, but we had fun. First, we went to the Dusen Botanical Garden, which was just south of Vancouver. They had beautiful gardens, but we went there for the hedge maze, which is only one of 6 in all of North America.
Wow, they had to plant this already. They had to work this out.
That's why there's only like 6 months. I'm going this way.
You gonna go that way? Okay, I'll go that way with you.
3 hours later.
I hear Nick. He's so close, but yet so far. Nice. Okay.
Made it first.
You did. Did you make it to the center? The center has a big tree in the middle of it. I thought Dad would be able to cheat by looking over, but I guess not.
We went through the exit.
What? We went to the exit? Oh, there isn't a tree. Yeah. I don't know. Bless you.
And here are pictures of Matt and some of Nick at the gardens. They also liked a little creek that was running through the property.
You're helping what?
The waterfall.
Good.
Van Dusen also had these giant chairs, so here we are. Nick, who hates taking pictures, looked like he was getting swallowed up by the chair. We ended up just getting lunch at Van Dusen at the Shaughnessy restaurant. Afterwards, we drove to Vancouver. We ended up not having a ton of time to go visit all the sites, so here's some video of some random places in Vancouver. We decided to go to Stanley Park. I wanted us to go to Ferguson Point because I thought that would be fun to have a video on that, but I didn't realize that driving through the park was only counterclockwise, so once we missed it, it was going to take way too long to get back. Instead, we went to Second Beach. Nick didn't want to get into a swimsuit, but Matt gladly did. Second Beach has a huge pool right by it too, but the line was too long and we didn't have a lot of time. So instead, we just went to the playground and then went to the beach, which ended up being a lot of fun.
Let me know if you want your hat. Okay?
Hi.
Don't touch them. Just,
Look at that neck.
I know, huh? Look, they're just eating like, they're like yum.
The ants are running.
Oh yeah,
Hi.
they are. Hi. Ledge, jump. Shells.
Those make a cool noise when you step on them.
Oh yeah. Oh, like the tide is out. That's why it's like so far out. But yeah, we can go out there. Oh, is that warm? Oh, that's nice.
The tide was out, so there were all these really warm pools of water to walk through.
Puddle.
Puddle. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's seaweed. But it's a different type of seaweed, huh?
There was a lot of light green seaweed that looked like
I
lettuce.
think you'd have to dry it. You don't want to eat it. That's like lettuce.
It is.
It's like sea lettuce.
Look.
Yep. Instead of seagulls, they got crows. Yep. Yep, you're king of the mountain.
The water itself at the beach wasn't too bad.
Here you are, Matt is at Second Beach in British Columbia, in Vancouver. Yeah, it's cooler. It's nice though.
I have my swimsuit on.
You do, so you can go in. You feel free, I got a towel. And you have dry clothes later, so go ahead, go in it if you want.
And Matt had a lot of fun.
My cheeks are wet now.
Nick ended up joining us and hitching up his pants. Eventually, I gave up on trying to keep him dry. I had extra clothes for him in the truck, so it was fine. Later, Matt said this beach was his favorite place of all the places we visited. Next, we left Stanley Park and crossed the Lions Gate Bridge into North Vancouver. Our next stop was the Capilano suspension bridge.
Look, canoe.
Whoa. that took like so long.
So long, 2 years, yeah, probably.
I thought that the boys would have a lot of fun, but I was wrong. The bridge freaked Matt out, and there were a lot of people on the suspension bridge when we went.
Yep, it's actually got
The strength of the steel. So.
Did you feel the steel? It's cool. Wow.
Shaking.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazily real.
See, we made it. There we go. Whoa, you still feel like you're like unstable when you're walking up these stairs.
The park did have a lot of cool things on the other side of the bridge.
In here.
She called you Rohit Chachu. Rohit Chachu. Okay, Rohit Chachu.
Is that a rotary?
Yeah.
You could walk under the bridge and see it moving back and forth. All of these boardwalks were held up by trees, so the boys tried to see if they could move the trees at all. The forest was beautiful, for sure. The park also had a treetop walk, which was pretty neat, where you walk across these bridges like Ewoks.
You want to let them go first, Matt?
Matt was a little scared, but he was happier each time he made it to each side and would hug the trees holding up the framework. Matt made it across the suspension bridge again, but neither kid wanted to do the cliff walk, which is a walkway that is around the cliff's edge. But here are some pictures of it. Afterwards, the boys and I ate sushi at Capilano Sushi, a really small restaurant that I forgot to take pictures of. Their chef just bought toro in the morning, and it was delicious. Matt ate a lot. For this leg of the trip, we only drove our trailer a total of around 124 miles to Port Angeles, Victoria and Vancouver, where the ferries took us from Port Angeles to Victoria and from Swartz Bay to Tsawwassen, for a total of 1,400 miles up to this point in this trip. It was nice not to have to drive the trailer too far for this leg of the trip, which was 4 days to get from Port Angeles to Vancouver to Tsawwassen. Of course, we drove the truck around town without Mammoth. The next trip will be about coming back over the Canada-US border and our visit to Seattle.